Welcome back. You're tuned in to Bazaar Morning Call. Well, we're bracing for a rough start to trade, but sometimes, these sort of phases in the market throw up opportunities. May not be today, but maybe in the next few sessions. Prakash Diwan joins us on the show. Hi, Prakash. A lot of news flow overnight. We have news flow on Tata Motors, Jubilant Foodworks. Delivery has gone ahead and done, some inorganic growth at a pretty reasonable valuation. Anything you like among this?
Good morning, Nigel. So, I think the market is in a stage where you would probably, even if you were to like something, you would just keep it on the side and wait for things to settle down. And that's precisely what I think the reaction is going to be. So you'll probably have a market where people will not want to allocate fresh capital, but wait for some of these events to actually start kind of unfolding. But yeah, you're right. Some of these developments, particularly, the way gas prices are likely to come down in India, and of course, crude prices as well. My sense is, you would be better off if you were to look at an IOC or some, one of these OMCs to kind of get into and just ride the dividend yield salience as well. So, that's what you have to do. Very boring trades, nothing very exciting yet. But there's lots that you can start kind of picking or making a short list of, given where things are. And remember, we went up, which was very uncertain. The move up from 22,000 was fairly volatile in that sense, wasn't expected, kept surprising people. The move down is probably going to be a bit sharper, but it's healthier for the market to kind of, get done with whatever poison letting that has to happen. But, this is slightly more global, so it would probably take much longer to stabilize. But otherwise, I think within the domestic market, there's lots of opportunities and valuations that will start seeming attractive, as long as you have the gumption to allocate some long-term capital and not just tactical stuff.
All right, Prakash, just to clear that point, OMCs is something that you're referring to, right? Because of the fall that we have seen in crude oil prices, marketing margins have moved up. The LPG losses as well should come in lower. And valuations are fairly reasonable. So you would like that, right?
That's right.
Okay, got it. Prakash, hi, morning. Tough to navigate this one. Okay, let's talk about maybe one or two stocks that you would buy. The market's going to give you a 900-point sale at the start. So maybe apart from OMCs, anything else?
Good morning, Sharvi. So, if I try to kind of look at things which are completely de-linked from this tariff issues and still have some underlying benefits, the hotel industry in India, for instance, would probably remain fairly insulated unless we believe that tariffs is also going to impact travel, which seems a bit unlikely. But if you look at the hotel segment as a whole, it's been kind of improving in terms of its earnings growth rates and the acceleration that we've seen in some of the pockets, and valuations have started kind of becoming much more reasonable. So of course, one of the favorites is ITC Hotels, and as a matter of disclosure, thanks to my ITC holding, we've been beneficiary of the hotel business as well. But this, at this point in time, I don't know, 200 whereabouts, is giving you ample opportunities to kind of build into the long-term portfolio. So that's one. Then you would have certain companies, certain segments, pockets, and I would completely stay out of IT at this moment, given the fact that it's still very uncertain in terms of how results would happen and the quarters going forward are going to pan out. But the one area that you would look at is businesses that have US, presence in that sense. And, one of the small companies that Nigel and I keep chatting about is Welspun Corp. So, that's something which we'll start seeing a lot of things. If manufacturing if gas production has to kind of, get enhanced within the US setup for whatever reasons, because a lot of nations like India will probably import LNG or be happy to import LNG to offset some of these deficits. And when that happens, you'll probably have these companies, and that's why it's not lost too much ground as well. You look at its price behavior, and it'll tell you a lot. The chart will tell you that very clearly. The fundamentals are solid enough for it to be buoyant, even in this crisis. So you get a discount, you buy these businesses, which will hold steady even in the medium to long term.
All right, Prakash, I had more questions, but we're out of time. I want to ask you about IT, for example, right? And a 9% decline in the last 2 days. For the index itself, stocks, of course, have taken a bigger beating. We'll have you back, Prakash. Thank you very much for joining us, though. A shorter conversation today.